No, I'm looking for a wife. Let's get married.
When?
Right now.
No, I'm not ready to have children now.
Why is that?
My job. I need 3 child-free years.
No problem.
How many kids do you want?
4.
2.
How about 3?
Okay.
Where do you want to live?
I'm moving back to Nigeria, suppose.
Me, no. I've not found what I came to do for in Europe. But why not the UK?
I don't like it.
And I doubt if your kind of job is here in Spain.
Don't worry. If I like Spain, I'll know what to do about my job.
Cool. Let's make it April next year.
September.
Why so far?
That's when I'll be free.
June?
In the middle of the rainy season.
How are you a rainmaker?
I can only spare 2 weeks in June.
No problem. Marriage deal?
Deal.
We are there.
Hello, everyone. Look who is back here. My darling husband, the marriage counselor.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to discuss, what you just saw is a summary of the discussion we had before we got married. The important discussions. But we're going to be taking them one by one after the other. Today, we're going to talk about my job. Yeah, job and how we're going to fit my job, my red job. You guys know I have a red job, a red kind of job. Fit my red job into the marriage. We did not discuss if I was going to continue working because that's a no-brainer, right? It did not even come up. Do you remember us discussing whether I'm going to continue working or not?
No. We didn't.
We didn't discuss that because it's a no-brainer. Both of us came from families where both parents worked, so we don't consider that a subject for discussion, right?
Me personally, I don't envision a stay-at-home wife staying at home doing, unless maybe work from home wife in this day and age of.
But we got married 20 years ago.
That's not.
Work from home was not in vogue then. So we didn't even talk about or think about that, working from home as an option.
Yeah.
So, baby, how did you feel when I threw that request for 3 child-free years into the works?
Yeah, it kind of took me aback because, coming from Africa where you're expected to immediately start having children once you get married, I was kind of taken aback. But, thinking about it, I know that, that's the normal thing because coming from Africa to where everybody has much responsibilities, I know what she meant because she had siblings that she was taking care of. How many then? 2 at uni, 1 in secondary school. I was helping 1 through business. So you should know, taking care of 2 people in the university or 2 persons and others. So it's a huge responsibility. And he needed her full concentration. So I said, okay, no problem. 3 years, before you know it, 3 years, it's just a short time, you think? Very, very short time. Yeah. It can be long and it can be short at the same time. Yeah, the thing is that due to the nature of my job, once a woman gets pregnant, no more work for you. You start working in an office and knowing that our office is not here in Spain, there's no way I would have found an office to work in. Maybe they would have sent me to Norway. That would have been a long distance marriage, which I never want to have. You will still be paid, but the money is offshore, man. So I need to continue going offshore. I wanted enough time for at least the ones in the university to graduate and the one that I was helping set up his business. By then his business, he would have, his business would have stood gidigba. Yeah, established. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. And even if it was just the one in secondary school, fine. Because I am someone that when I get married, I want to concentrate on my marriage. When I start having children, I had already planned in my head the kind of life I will give my children. So I didn't want to be taking care of my children many distractions. Yeah, and having so many responsibilities. It's not going to work. I would have collapsed. Yeah, because at that initial time, there was a huge responsibility from her side. It's not as if the responsibilities have ended, but because in Africa, once you marry, the responsibility is continuous until you go to the grave. As long as they see that you're, in quote, you're successful or you're rich, in quote. Or you're in Obodo,
even if you don't have money, once you're abroad.
both families, relations, friends, well-wishers, everybody will be calling. So help never ends. Yeah. And at least that one that is obligatory, because you have to take care of your family. It's compulsory. At least for somebody that is well nurtured and well brought up. That's the expectation.
Yeah.
That you should take care of your parents and siblings.
At this point, I want to talk to women. Yeah, you need to bring up these things. Something that concerns you, For instance, childbearing. Childbearing affects women more because, we are the mothers.
Yeah.
We are the natural nurturers.
Nurturers.
Yeah. So we are expected to take care of the children. I mean, you are the one that will carry the child. You're the one that will take care of the child, even if it's just during your maternity leave that you're solely taking care of the child, breastfeeding the child and all that. Your job is mostly affected, let's face it, when it comes to having children. So you have to initiate these discussions, because if you leave the men, they will not initiate it because they're not wired to think about such things.
Why do women not discuss these issues before they marry?
It's fear. Nothing else. It's fear. Because in our culture, like I've said in this video, in our culture, women are at the receiving end when it comes to marriage. We don't go out to propose. Like you proposed to me, you said, even though you didn't go on bended knee. Like you said, you're the one that made the first move, right?
Yeah.
You can write your list and write, even if you want 7 foot tall woman, a career woman, a woman that will give you 10 children, you can find it in one woman. Let's say you want to marry a medical doctor now. You can go and ask the girls, any of them that is not a medical doctor, you just leave her and go to another one, right?
Yeah.
Or once you hear, oh, this person is studying medicine, you go straight and do a beeline for her. Yeah. But for us women, we don't have a choice. You may want a medical doctor, a teacher will come for you. You may want a teacher, a farmer will come for you. You understand what I mean? What if even if you had 20 suitors, what if 20 of them is not in the profession that you want? So that's the thing. We are the receiving end. So we always feel, a lot of women, I know for sure, a lot of women always feel that this man that is coming is the last chance I have to get married. We only wait till the few people that come, then we check if they are good for us or if they match what we have in our list. We keep striking out till we are left with nothing. Yet the men are not happy. So I believe it's fear.
Even when the women had the opportunity to discuss this, because some of these women stay with these men for years before they marry. It's not as if they just see each other today and marry tomorrow.
But nobody discusses that, because as a woman, if you start discussing that before a man has proposed to you, you'll be seen as forward. You'll be seen as forward now. Are you pushing him towards marriage? It's like asking him, what are we doing? What are we? Even the simple what are we that some women ask, they think that we're asking too much. No? Yeah, that's the thing. It's fear. Women, chime in. Okay, for the married women, did you discuss these issues before you got married? Did it bother you? And you didn't discuss it, you didn't bring it up because the man did not bring it up? If yes, what made you not bring it up? Please let us know in the comments. And then you, as a single person, a single woman, you have not gotten married, do you think you would discuss these things with a man you plan to marry? If no, why wouldn't you bring it up? Why wouldn't you discuss it? I believe it's fear, because a lot of women, the first man that comes, they think this is their last chance to get married, especially if they're getting close to 30. The 30 is the magic age for women. Once you're getting to 30, they believe that once you cross over 30, it's game over for you. So the older they get, the less they ask, they are prone to asking these kinds of questions. But it's very important for your marriage to work. You need to discuss these things.
Yeah.
Anybody that doesn't want to discuss it is somebody that does not want to be held accountable for anything.
That's it.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, in the modern society, that's the word. Women should be bold enough, because it's not like before. If you say in the olden days, when some of these things you are saying now were very, very tenable, but now, not most anyway, there are some marriages now that started with relationships. That's maybe boyfriend, girlfriend. From there, they start cutting. So some do date for 2-3 years, some 4, some. Why would they not have discussed this during those periods?
You don't know that people date for 10 years, they don't discuss these things. These are taboos. A lot of all these.
No, even casually. If you're, how do they say it? If you are proactive enough, if you're a girl now, maybe you've been going out with somebody for 2 years and you're hoping that this guy will marry you.
Hoping, okay.
So there are some discussions or even some behavioral tendencies you're supposed to be looking out for in the person.
Behavioral tendencies, yes, but baby, remember that you don't want to be too forward as a woman from our society. There are certain questions you start asking a man, it will be perceived as being forward. Thereby, a lot of women shy away. For instance, how can I come out and start asking a man, how many children do you want to have? A man that I'm still boyfriend and girlfriend with. Please chime in. Once again, I always invite you guys to chime in the comments.
I think that,
is it common for a girlfriend to be asking a man how many children he wants to have when he hasn't proposed?
The issue is, it might not be direct, but even during casual discussion, you can even, or maybe you're watching television now and you see a program related to that. You can call him whatever you do call him or her. And say maybe your darling or whatever. So what do you think about this thing? You will say, how many children do you want? You will say, okay, I want 3, I want 4, I want 5. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to comments. We saw a lot of comments in our last video, man. A lot of them. Some of them need to be pointed out. There's a lady that talked about, this fear that I say that I always have. What if the inevitable happens? This lady said that her husband did not want her. In fact, from what she said, they live abroad. I mean, I can understand some people in Nigeria saying that they don't want their wives to work, but I've hardly ever heard of men abroad telling their wives not to work. This is the first time I'm hearing that, to be honest. He said that the husband refused that she shouldn't work and all that. And she had 3 children and she went off. She went to school, saw herself through school. In fact, she said that in her last year in school, she had twins, so 5 children. And then she got a job. And shortly after she got a good job, settled, her husband passed away. Just imagine what would have happened. Like this, just imagine, I always say, it's better that you prepare for the inevitable than you did not prepare and the inevitable happens. Yeah, nobody wants his or her spouse to die before they are old and wrinkly. No, nobody wants that. But you need to prepare for these things. You need to prepare. And I said, real kudos. And the woman said that her children are all grown now, that they are doing well, they're fine. Wow. It's a happy ending, but I can't help but imagine what would have happened if she had become the dutiful wife. Exactly. Sometimes you have to disobey. Like I always say, sometimes there needs to be war for peace to reign. You need to disobey some people because women have that natural instinct of planning ahead, long ahead for the family. But some men, I notice that once money is coming in now, they relax, they feel that everything is fine. But a lot of women have that tendency to think about the future of their children, think about what will happen to their children. So please, have these discussions, bring up these discussions, women. Women, I expect all of you to lead this discussion because we are the ones that these things worry. It worries a lot of us. If you leave the men, all they want is go to work, make money, come back home. So long as there's food in the house, there's a shelter, children are going to school, they have clothes to wear, they are fine. They don't care about what they think that we have all these things forever. But women think ahead, right?
Yeah, in fact, empowerment of women is very necessary because if a woman is not empowered, especially in this sad situation, if she loses her spouse, what will be the outcome? This one will be untold suffering, especially in abroad or wherever, even if it's in Nigeria. Women need to be empowered.
And then I saw some comments where, mostly coming from guys, they expressed fear. It's always that fear. That once women start making money like this one, let me read it. The problem could be from the fact that some umumani want to work and not contribute to the family finances. The husband could say, your job is costing me money rather than helping, so stay at home. But Madam Flo, you have a wonderful exemplary marriage. You can't compare it with some of these marriages you are talking about. Our marriage, I don't think there's anything special that we're doing in this marriage. This should be the basics.
Yeah, but his concern is valid because I read too many of the comments in this aspect about women or some women not contributing to the finances of the house when they are working. And I think this stems from ignorance because even if you watch some of our YouTubers, Nigerian ladies or so-called feminists, some of them, what they say, most of them will tell you, my money is my money. My husband's money is our money. So it's my husband's responsibility to do this, to do that, to do that. I'm not saying it's not the man's responsibility, but because of the way things are now, and the kind of society we live in now, it's very, very difficult. Unless you want your husband to die, die untimely or to suffer untold hardship, for you to just leave your husband to bear the full responsibility in the house. In fact, it's not possible.
It's not wicked.
Especially,
if
okay,
you're
like somebody living in Europe, you're living in the UK, or you live in Europe, or even in America. How much do you earn? One person's salary is not enough to food the bills of the family, because there are many bills to pay. So you have to send money to your dependents or relatives at home. So it's practically impossible for a man to foot all this himself without the support of the woman. So when you see your spouse working and she's not contributing, it's this will just raise a very big red flag in the house. But I think, on the other hand, maybe it's the way you treat the woman. Because I have aunties, and I do go to their houses. I know that most of my aunties are the breadwinners of their homes. And even while I was living in Nigeria, I have some practical, some women that I praise till this day. Some of them, their husband we are sick, bedridden. But the woman, nobody knew. The woman struggled tooth and nail to take care of the financial aspects of the home. Work day in, day out to make ends meet. So
I don't know where they got this that women don't work. Like I'm trying to think about women in our circle.
No, but in this
where a woman doesn't work,
that a woman does
and where a woman is not selling. Some women are not selling their wrappers to make sure that their children go to school and make sure that their children.
I'm not saying the women are not working. They say they work, but they don't bring their
okay,
money.
They work. Okay, sorry, they work, but I don't even know anybody in our circle that her money is for her alone. Maybe it depends on the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think some of those people preaching this in on the internet, in YouTube, or in their videos, in their homes, I'm sure they're doing the opposite.
Because like I wanted to interject when you say that the person is a feminist. You cannot be a feminist and say that your money is your money.
That's why I say so-called.
Okay, so-called. You're not a feminist. In fact, you're mean. You're wicked if you're working, earning good money, and you're trying to tell us that your money is your money. That is why some women, they buy things in the house. They'll even come out and say, they buy themselves a car and come out and say, it's my husband that bought it for me. Because, when it's perceived that it's your husband that did it for you, it means that he loves you or whatever, that your husband is Odobo or he's doing this. I don't know the impression. But why do you even need to tell us who bought what? Why? Yeah. Why do you need to tell us? Just buy a car. If you want to celebrate your car, celebrate your car. You don't have to tell us who bought it, right? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, my own is that men, that is why when you're concerned that a woman will pocket all her money, because he's saying this based on it. Remember when there's a video we made and I said, don't come to a marriage with prejudice. Yeah? Discuss these things. If you come to a marriage with prejudice, maybe you came from a family where the woman, because I know, there are some women, they exist. I'm not saying that they don't exist, that they earn money, their money is for them. Even if the children are dying, they say, go and tell your father, wait till your daddy comes back, stuff like that. Go and tell your daddy everything, go and tell daddy. Even if it's to buy snacks for children, go and tell daddy. So maybe you grew up in such a home, so you have that belief that women don't contribute financially. That's called prejudice. When you use that knowledge, that experience to go and meet another girl, an innocent girl. That is why it's important to both parties that we have these conversations. We need to have these conversations. We must have them. These conversations are elephants in the room. If you're going to live with somebody from whenever you get married till death do you part, or till you divorce, or whatever, for whatever how many years, it's a long time to live with elephants in the room. You need to discuss these things. It's even better you discuss it at the beginning. Stop being afraid. Women, stop being afraid to discuss it. It's better you discuss it in the beginning, trash it out, rather than my husband thinking he's going to have 4 children. Meanwhile, the other person is thinking, I'm going to have 2 children. And then both of you come in, and number of children will you start quarreling about number of children. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to discuss these things to eliminate all these unnecessary quarrels. There are so many things to quarrel about in a marriage. So you need to eliminate the ones that you can eliminate at the beginning. Get this sorted out. I'm telling you. There are so many things to quarrel about, so many things that will come up in the course of the marriage that you didn't even envisage. So it's better to sort out the big ones, the ones that you know that are coming up, all right? So for this guy that is saying the solution to that is to have a conversation. There are some people that make such comments. They say that what they notice is that we communicate a lot. Communication sorts out a lot of things. Let me tell you, my husband is not. When we met, my husband doesn't. There are some things that my husband likes discussing. For instance, if you see him at a meeting now, like some people were saying from the last video, some people said they didn't know that you talk like this. If you see my husband in his element, he can't shut up. Oh. You people think that I'm the one that talks here. If you see him in his element, but there are some things that he doesn't like discussing.
I don't like discussing
okay.
All this trivial.
Whatever you want. But I say, let's mundane.
It's politics now. No.
so
men topics.
So please, do not be afraid to discuss it. Any man that does not want to discuss anything with you, I don't think you're on the same, what do you call it?
Pedestal.
Pedestal, or is it on the same, what's the word? You're not operating at the same frequency. Yeah, you have different energies. That's what I believe. Everybody should be open in a marriage, unless you want to be on your own. But so long as you want to form a union called marriage with somebody, you need to be open to discussing things. You need to talk about things. You need to discuss things.
Yeah.
You cannot shy away from them, because if you shy away from them, or the discussions you shy away from today, they will rear their head tomorrow. You're not running away from that. There's a good comment about this from Ezine. Ezine was responding to somebody that said that some wives, when they start making money, they will start disrespecting their husbands. So Ezine was like, if the headship the man provided was money, of course he will lose it if his wife earns more. It's high time men moved away from that fear. Choose a level-headed woman from the get-go, not the one that respects your money. Very good comment, yeah?
Yeah.
In this century, many women earn more than their husbands, and we don't hear it outside. So don't make the media sell you only the bad parts. I know more than a handful personally, and they respect their husbands because he brings many other things to the table.
Correct.
Don't be the man that is only rich in terms of money. Meanwhile, you're poor in character, you're poor in other aspects of life. She said, example, critical thinking, laughter, decisiveness, courage, love, and faithful spiritual leadership, a listening ear, a shoulder and a chest to cry on, a great father to the kids, and even the D. Hey! Isn't it covered all around? Yeah. It's a well-rounded man. If you're a well-rounded man, chickening money that a woman is making, or even if the woman is making more than you are, money is not everything. If you bring all these other things to the table, man, you're the winner at the end of the day, I'm telling you. Don't let society deceive you to think that it's only money a man brings to the table. Let's clap for this comment.
No, our comment is...
Let's clap for this comment.
Our comment is spot on.
This is the way we should approach these things. Men, it's not only women that you should have good character, be well-rounded, be a good mother, be a career woman, but you, it's only money that you have. So once you feel that she's earning more, or she's even earning at all, or when she talks, because it's only because is your money that is making you treat her anyhow. So when she now starts making money, when she talks, it's because of money. No.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be because of money. Then, let me find another comment.
Even relating these comments of laziness, there was a lady that commented. She said that her husband, they've been married for a long time now, I think, and her husband stopped her from working and promised to open business for her, that she should take care of the kids till they grow. That now the kids are grown, and that the man has refused to open the business for her. And the funny thing is that each time she raises this question of empowering her or finding something for her to do, he stops or he withdraws giving money to her.
Imagine.
So I wish the guy is listening, or the man. So it's not, when you're punishing your wife, you're punishing yourself. Since the children are grown, why would your wife, who wants to work or who wants to do business, continue being a stay-at-home mom? You're not being fair to her. You need to open the business for her. So
I'll call it what it is. You're being wicked to her.
Both of you will thrive together. And like we said initially, some of these things, the repercussive effects is in times of uncertainties or difficulties. That's when you see the implication. Because when things are rosy, you may not notice them. Assuming you as a man, the breadwinner, you're no more. What will your wife do? What will she do?
And she said here, now I remember that comment. She said here, I've been dying silently, but the truth remains I don't want to leave my marriage. So, between the devil and the deep blue sea, if you're truly dying, to be honest, your children are grown. What's the worst that could happen? Let me see. forced to quit my job. Okay, so she was working.
Yeah.
So that means she's
working.
qualified. She has experience. She quit her job. So if she goes now and starts looking for a job and gets a job and starts the job, what will happen? You, the man, answer, please. What's the worst that can happen?
The worst that can happen is the man will say he's no longer marrying again.
He's no longer marrying again. So what are you doing with such a person that is making you die silently?
She has told you that she don't want to leave the marriage.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to leave the marriage that you're dying in. Are you really dying? That's the part I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because if somebody is making me die silently, I wouldn't want to stay there. Please don't leave, before you people say that. Before you people say that I'm teaching you divorce here. Please see what I would do if I were in your shoes.
I think that dying silently is figurative, because that maybe she's suffering in the mind because of the man.
Whether you call it suffering or whatever, she's sad. She's not happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Your children are grown based on this. Your children are grown. You're not looking to. Your children know you as their mother. It's not like they're infants and they are taken from you. Maybe when they grow older, they won't remember who you are. My children will remember me. Yeah, the man will not even divorce you. Let me tell you, that's the thing. This fear, the man will not divorce you. Do you think that after 6 children, this man will want to go and marry another wife? No way. I don't think so. Let him go and marry anyway.
It's for his own good now. Why should he divorce her?
He will not divorce her. It's just the fear. She said for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it has been doing it they've been living like that for 10 years. So she feels that this is normal now. The man will not divorce you. That's the thing. That's what I wanted to say. The man will not divorce you anything. Leave matter. This one that is withholding money from you. Imagine. I'm going to find work. Nothing is happening. He's not going to divorce you anything. Highest, he will stop talking to you. You people will be living in silence better. But you're going to work and coming back. Anyway, everybody cannot be me though, but...
No, it's just that I find it strange, how a man will allow his wife to waste her skills or education in the name of being a stay-at-home mom. If there's a very good reason for her staying at home, good. But the problem is when there's no justifiable reason for her staying at home. That's where the problem is. Because if you're staying at home, maybe, and it was agreed, look after the kids, they are so tender now till they grow a bit. It's understandable. But like this woman that said that all her children are grown, and still you refuse her to work.
No, this submissiveness has a limit.
It's somehow.
Nothing is happening. Go and look for a job. Somehow. Go for interview and pass. But the thing is, some of you've stayed at home for too long. The man has dealt with your self-confidence a lot, that you don't even trust yourself to find a job safe. You're still looking for permission. There are some things I don't look for permission in, honestly, because my mom was a teacher till she retired. My dad was a civil servant till he retired. So no man will tell me to stop work unless I said, okay, like when I said, oh, I have 2 children now, I can't leave them to go offshore. Let me stay at home for much longer. Women should be allowed to do what they want as far as career is concerned. There's somebody that said it here. I like that comment. Let me find it. And it came from a man. He said, even if the woman is not earning much, she should still be encouraged to work. I encourage my wife. Hey, yeah, that's how I knew that he's a man. I encourage my wife to work, even when they were paying her 40,000 naira as a teacher. She was the only staff that goes to work with her own car. Today, we are both in the UK, and I can say she earns more than me here. She's still a teacher in the UK while I work from home. We now share the bills here, unlike when I paid for everything in Nigeria. We are both happy. That's the key. If you're a man in a marriage and your wife is not happy, shame on you. We are both happy. With the low amount she earned in Nigeria, she did her postgraduate in Unilag. She also did another postgraduate in the UK. I am happy she's a high flyer. You are the man.
That's all.
Not the ones that come out to subdue people. There's another comment I need to read, which I believe is in line with this one. She said, someone once asked my husband why he allowed me to work. Because this word, a man allowing the woman to work, it's so slavery sounding. How can you be saying allow? Allow as what? Yeah, but I'm happy she put it in quote. Why he allowed me to work. And he said, because it makes her happy. Once again, I say, if you're a man and your wife is not happy, shame on you. Shame on you for subjugating, like getting a slave instead of a wife. Why? How can you even be proud that you have a slave at home instead of a wife? Wives are also human, yes. And husbands should encourage them to live their best lives. Double yes.
Exactly.
Marriage should add value both to the husband and wife and make both persons flourish together. Very good. Not one person making strides in career and business at the expense of the other person's life and happiness. So, yeah. This is all these comments there are so many great comments.
She has said it all.
She has said it all.
When both are happy, they flourish together. And that's the essence of marriage.
That's the essence of marriage. You cannot get somebody's daughter and enslave her. Leave her alone. Stay on your own.
If your wife is not happy in marriage, you too won't be happy. No matter how pretentious you think you, no matter the pretense
you cannot.
You cannot be
It's
happy.
not possible.
So that's just the basic.
Because these are basic discussions. Because somebody was telling us in the comments. There are so many comments that I remember, but I don't know how long this video is now. There's not enough time to discuss all these things. There are some people that say that we are making it look like marriage is perfect. No, it's not perfect. What we are doing here is the basics of a union.
Our marriage is not perfect. There's no perfect marriage.
Our marriage is not. We don't see our marriage as up there in perfection.
There's no marriage that is perfect.
This is the basics.
Everybody comes with his or her own idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
So it's a collective effort. Like that sister said, once both of you can just jointly see one another as in unity or unison, that two of you are one, do things commonly, there'll be no very, very little problem or minimal problem.
I need to read one other comment from Vivian. Vivian's husband said that this is simple. Men who are nurturers encourage their wives' careers, wishes, and aspirations. They have a more successful future in terms of success of their children, their home, and their lives in general. While some people may tag those men as not being man enough or tag the woman rapper, that's what they call them. Men who love their wives and do the things that will make their wives happy. Like, this is just basic things you do for your wife, not allowing your wife to work. Like, if your wife's job makes her happy, she should do the job. Like, it's not even up for discussion. Like I told you, we never discussed whether I will continue with my job or not, because I believe that has been established. He knew the kind of job I was doing. So it wasn't even up for discussion whether I will continue with this job that I saw. You know when I started planning to get this job since my second year, and I finally got it, and then a man will come and say, you'll stop the job. Marriage needs to be put to a stop immediately, not my job.
In your own case, there's no basis for that. There's no basis. Once
Anyway.
a woman is happy and bringing suggestions, ideas, finances to the union, why bother?
Why discuss whether somebody will do
bother?
work or not? When we're looking for a way to find more sources of income, you're stopping the one that you have already.
Right.
Like Josie said, ladies, now only husband will support our career and gives us massage, we go they love, they respect too. Oh my God. So women, all these women the men in your lives are making you unhappy. It doesn't work that way. You're not supposed to be unhappy in a union.
That one is a no-no, especially marital union. If it's boyfriend, girlfriend, that one is temporary. But something will look till eternity, or till both of you grow old. That'll be the worst thing that can happen to a man and a woman, being unhappy in your marriage, because it's perpetual
unhappiness.
Perpetual unhappiness.
When you remember that you're going home, or when you remember that person, because when you are staying at home, when you remember that person is coming home, how do you welcome the person? How do you talk with each other? How do you even sleep to have all these children?
It's a terrible situation.
No, if I'm unhappy, no. What did exciting call it? Exciting called it. What did she call it? Other room.
I will not stay in an unhappy relationship. No, especially marriage. No.
And if one of you is not happy, the other person cannot be happy.
It's giving me stress. I beg you, better go make a rest. I don't want problem for life.
Anyway, baby, we need to stop this one here because this thing is Buchi. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button. What are we going to discuss next?
We'll pick one topic in the series. Maybe
which one?
Where to live, or
how we chose where to live. Yeah, that's a very interesting one. Okay. Bye-bye. See you soon.